Hello everyone, hi, how are you guys doing? Welcome back to another episode of a Hannibal reaction. This is Road Live, and my name is Matt. Hello. Okay, so, we're watching, I believe, this is the finale for Season 2 of Hannibal. But yeah, what happened last time? We made the rich eat himself. Which is a step above just eating the rich, you know? They have to eat themselves. That's at the point we're at. But yeah, we fucked Mason up, and he ate his own face, kind of. Well, no, like he was giving his face to the dogs, but then he ate his own nose or whatever. Yeah, Hannibal just kind of fucked with them. The thing is that he made himself do that, and then Will couldn't stop that, and then Jack questioned Mason about, hey, what happened? And Mason either lied or he just got like forced mind wiped by Hannibal. Just like you don't know exactly what happened. You think I'm a great therapist, not a therapist, whatever, psychotherapist, whatever his role is. But yeah, that happened. We got the psychiatrist. There we go. We got Hannibal's psychiatrist back. Jack and Will were asking her about Hannibal, and she essentially said a lot of things. But the thing is that we don't really have concrete proof that Hannibal is anything. So Will is gonna continue to play the game of I'm tricking Hannibal into thinking that I'm actually like I'm like converted to the cannibalism clan. And I think at the end of the episode he says something like, we're gonna have to like face Jack Crawford, you know, just like you'll have to give it to him. So I think Will is essentially making Hannibal go and fight Jack, which is what we saw at the beginning of the season. So in this episode we're finally gonna see what happens in that fight, you know, like we're gonna get to see what is the resolution to it or what is the lead up to it. We know that Jack goes in solo to face Hannibal, and they just start fucking fighting. So what I'm assuming immediately is that like Hannibal, like, I don't know, he like did something to Jack's wife, you know, or to, I don't know, well, someone that Jack would look at and he was like, fuck you, and he would go in solo instead of having like any like backup or whatever. He was just like, I'm gonna fucking get you. Or that could be part of the master plan, and we don't see how that is resolved, because they show you like Jack essentially losing and he's like kind of dies, and then you see like Hannibal like cut meat, and then it says like several weeks earlier that is either a hard confrontation or a hard denial, and I'm leaning towards hard denial that is anything even remotely close to what actually happens, you know, like, because we see that, I'm like, okay, that's not what it's gonna be, you know, like Jack is gonna be saved by Will or whatever, and then there's gonna be something else crazy happening, and then that's actually what happened. That's what I'm thinking, because especially this season, that you see many shots where the show just straight up lies to you. You know, like so many shots of like Will being like, oh my god, I'm going crazy, oh my god, I'm a killer, and then it's like the face on face shot of like Hannibal and Will, and it's like, oh my god, they're turning into one. No, the show is lying. It's like, because it's not even like the show is like, okay, I'm telling you the truth, but you have to figure out the truth for yourself. No, it's just the show is lying to you. Like, that's just what it is. The show is just showing you things in order to lie to you for no reason. Because and it's like, okay, sure, I know what the reason is. No reason is unfair, but it is for a stupid reason. Because it's like, you know, like, I don't need you to lie to me, show. You just give me the clues and show me characters talking, and then I can like make my own conclusions, you know. And the thing is that my conclusion would have been like, hey, Will is probably not turning into a killer, or maybe a little bit, but not fully. I think he's playing Hannibal. But in order to nail the point harder, the show felt like it needed to lie to me, and I suppose it did, because I would have expected it to not be the case. But yeah, whatever, I don't know. Sorry, I'm tired. I'm like tired, sleepy. I had a shit day. Yesterday was even worse. I need to watch fucking Hannibal. I also have a really fucking busy week ahead of me. No, week, month. Yeah, because of Squid Game and Doctor Who and then The Expanse and oh god, I'm gonna die. Hannibal. Okay, let's watch it. Oh yeah, check out the Patreon. Link in the description, pop up on screen. You can watch the next 2 episodes of the first 2 episodes of season 3. You can already watch that as well as full-length reactions. So yeah, Hannibal. Let's watch the episode. Season 2, episode 13 finale. Let's go. There we go.
Hannibal like to request the pleasure of my company for dinner.
I mean, how is this any different than any other time?
Will you do what needs to be done? Oh, yes.
That looked very weird. Oh man, they got this guy again. Hello.
You saved me for Jack.
I don't know about that.
Will you save him for me when I'm gone?
I don't know about that one either.
You can write about me. You can write about Hannibal. But leave Abigail alone.
Okay, I see.
You really don't know if you're going to survive him, do you?
Oh man, this feels like a tension. If it weren't for the fact that I know that there's another season, I would be like, man, maybe the show's about to end.
If I'm ever apprehended, my memory palace will serve as more than a mnemonic system. I will live there.
So what he's saying is that if he's God, he'll just become a monk and just live within his own brain, of his own imagination. Hannibal smelling well. What can he smell? Freddy Lounge scent. Hair? That's the most bullshit thing ever. That's the most bullshit superpower ever. There's so many things about the show that I've called bullshit on, and for a lot of those, you can give me like some sort of like explanation, right? I want to hear like an actual real explanation as to his fucking superpower, where he can just smell cancer in people or whatever. What are we looking at?
I feel poisoned.
Okay, back to reality.
How can you be sure he's not goading you?
I'm not. Like a tear of blood. Now, is that tear of blood a real tear of blood, or is it just artistic and symbolic too?
We could disappear now. Tonight.
Elope together? Ooh, sounds enticing.
This would be our last supper. If I confess to Jack Crawford right now.
I would forgive you.
He wants to see you. See who you are.
I'm trying to focus.
See what I've become.
Because now I know that Hannibal knows that Will knows that she's alive. So...
To the truth, then. And all its consequences.
Okay. I felt like that was just Hannibal giving Will like a last chance. And now he knows that Will is doubling down on the plan with Jack. And then he's like, alright then. Oh, this lady. She's gonna be like, Agent Crawford, what the fuck are you doing?
After an inquiry, I'm putting you on forced compassionate leave.
This is what I thought was gonna happen, like at the beginning of the season. I was like, this fucking lady is gonna be like, Jack, you're not gonna be FBI man anymore. So that's why Jack is going on alone when he's encountering Hannibal. So he's just gonna go in solo and he's gonna fucking die. Maybe.
We've frozen his passport and we're getting a search warrant.
Hannibal already opened his doors to the FBI. There won't be physical evidence. The only way to catch him is in the act. Will and Jack are still your best chance to catch him.
They are desperate.
They are breaking the law.
Hannibal killed an FBI agent.
Jack knows what you'll find. He knows what you have to do. That won't stop him from doing what he has to do.
Okay, I feel like we're about to see like a banger of a second half of the episode. Part of me was like expecting Hannibal to be behind the door. We're doing it? We're doing it? And we're gonna get to see it again. You know, just as a reminder, you know, it's been like 13 weeks. Gun, knife, throw it, stab him in the hand. Alright, so Will's gonna get here then. Maybe the FBI people will get here too. Because the FBI lady knows, oh, he's gonna go and try to fight Hannibal. Oh, Alana's here. Even if they get Hannibal, it's like, oh, he murdered Jack Crawford. Oh, but it was self-defense. Jack Crawford was a madman. Like, fucking goddamn it. I want to see Jack Crawford do like the... When he like... He didn't pile drive him, but it was pretty close. That one! I like that one. That was cool. If this was a fighting game, Jack Crawford would be a grappler. Just shoot. Just shoot. Mads Mikkelsen looks fantastic when he's so rugged. Just shoot him in like the leg, you know?
I'll make no plans to call on you, but if you stay, I'll kill you.
That is a threat.
Be blind, Alana. Don't be brave.
Girl? Girl?
I took your bullets.
Oh my god! How did he do that? When did he do that? When did it took your fucking bullets? I mean, I'm sure that if we go back like 2 episodes, you can see the scene when he did that. Unless it was off screen. Okay, at least she took aggro from Jack. Watch Will be on the other side of the door.
I found more bullets!
You're shooting blindly. Who that? It's that Abigail? I knew it! I knew she was alive! Yeah. Well, sure. Oh, Alana's out. Well, Abigail's alive and she's on Team Hannibal. And she's been living in Hannibal's basement or whatever. That window broke very easily, by the way. Well, you know, she could be alive. Oh my god, are we gonna do the fucking like, I'm gonna die in your arms, saying like final words? Get her gun. Get her gun so you will have 2. Damn it! That would have been really smart. She didn't tell him about Abigail. Okay, she's not dead. Yet. Yeah, you might not get out of this one, boy. There we go.
I just did what he told me.
Sure.
Where is he?
Right behind you.
You were supposed to leave.
Of course. Oh! Oh, that's bad. You just gutted him.
Can't did reverse.
Ugh.
The teacup that I shattered did come together.
Yeah, let's talk about fucking teacups. I remember that shit.
I wanted to surprise you. And you wanted to surprise me. Now that you know me. See me. I gave you a rare gift, but you didn't want it. Do you believe you could change me the way I've changed you?
I already did.
Now my question is the main character gonna die?
I forgive you, Will. Will you forgive me?
Oh, don't.
Come on! Again! I mean, here's the thing. If the FBI doesn't show up and they're like, all right, Hannibal Lecter might be a killer, I'm gonna lose my goddamn mind. This looks like self-defense. There's 4 dead bodies. Okay, episode isn't over yet. I don't think. Actually, the episode might be over within like 30 seconds. Oh my god. What are we doing? What's happening? Who's gonna die? Everyone bleeding out. Everybody big bleed, big out. Okay, so we have 4 people on the floor dying. Who stops moving? 1. Well, time to run away. Yeah, sure. Are you gonna fucking die? Credits roll. Not yet. Credits do roll, in fact. They do, in fact, roll. I'm not gonna skip them because we have a picture, we have an image that is, I can tell, supposed to represent heaven. The transition from dying to black to heaven implies death. Oh my god, what the fuck is that? Plane? This motherfucker traveling to France? How are all his like credit cards and shit not frozen? And he's like blacklisted or whatever. He kidnapped you, didn't he? Kind of. Fuck this show. Alright. About that episode. This show's just like, I feel like when the show ends, when it inevitably ends, it still won't actually tell me anything. I feel like whoever writes the show, whoever makes the show, their like kink is just not telling you anything, right? I feel like the show's gonna end and it's not gonna be clear whether or not what you're seeing is real or not. And it's just gonna end. This show feels like, somehow it feels more confusing than like Evangelion. I just watched the 4 Evangelion movies. I feel like I understood those more than I understand Hannibal sometimes. Because like at the very least I know what to pay attention to in Evangelion and not to pay attention to some other things because they don't matter. With Hannibal, I feel like the show just makes no effort into like actually giving me like a cohesive story. Actually, I'm full of shit, okay? I'm just exaggerating. The reality is that I'm pretty sure I understand on paper what just happened. You know, it makes sense. The episode ended with 4 main characters, one of which was resurrected from the dead, even though I saw it coming. And they're all bleeding out on the floor, dying. And the episode ended. And I'm just like, alright. Okay then. Like, best case scenario, they all live. Second best case scenario, 3 of them live. Third best case scenario, 2 of them live. Kind of good case scenario, 1 of them lives. Worst case scenario, they're all dead. The fact that we have so many paths we can go into, because like it's kind of funny. Like I feel bad if anyone expected like an emotional reaction out of me, like because like I feel like with this show I'm not like emotionally invested, but I'm invested, just not emotionally. I'm like, okay, what the fuck is gonna happen now? And like the fact that the episode literally ended with like everybody bleeding out on the floor, I'm just like, all right, like there's so many places where we can go from here. It's like, all right, they're all gonna die or they're not gonna die, and Hannibal gets out. either way, it's just like, god fucking damn it. And like I called it for the wrong reasons, but I called it when the beginning of the season happened and we saw Jack Crawford come in and he fought Hannibal one-on-one. I'm like, okay, he didn't have backup. Why was that? You know, like I was immediately like, okay, why was that? And one of my theories that I threw was the fact that he lost his job at the FBI, or they kicked him out or something. And the answer in this episode is he's on leave because his entire master plan with Will was some weird fucked up shit, and the FBI lady, the bad kind of not evil, but like kind of douchey looking FBI lady with a Karen haircut. She's the one that of course comes back in, and she's like, this is some dumb shit, Jack. You're out. Actually, fuck you. We're gonna put you under arrest, you and Will Graham, for killing people. And we're gonna let the serial killer walk out. To be fair, I'm exaggerating. I mean, no, I'm not exaggerating. That's literally what happened. But to be fair, from her perspective, it kind of makes sense, you know? Like, Jack is doing some wild shit. Will Graham is doing some wild shit. But the fact that that this lady is just... Well, to be fair, she's like... And I'll give the show credits for this one. It's the fact that she says, we're going to do what Jack Crawford should have done to begin with, which is we're going to search his place. We're going to cancel his like traveling cards or whatever. I'm going to search his place. Alana says Jack already did that. So here's where we can like take the show's word for granted in saying that maybe they actually did look through Hannibal's house like more than just like a look. It was just off screen. And they never elaborated on it. Except for this one mention. But maybe. That's a maybe. I'm not even sure about that. But yeah. The FBI lady was like, okay, we're going to search his house. And I suppose the thought is that Hannibal is Hannibal. So he's going to dispose of like all the evidence that he can. Because... well, he eats people, so there's not gonna be a lot of evidence. And even then, he's like a fucking... He doesn't have OCD. He could have OCD, but he's like the very meticulously serial killer, so he's gonna clean everything. So there you go. But that's the case, then they're gonna be like, man, there's a lot of bleach in this guy's house. Like, but like they should do like a thorough investigation on this guy. Just like how many things that he has to his name. Where does he go? Why does he keep traveling all the time between these places? Where does he do at this point in time of his day? Like, what is the something in the life of Hannibal Lecter like? Because like that's the thing. It's that logically speaking, all the shit that he does, he wouldn't have time to do that in his day. And if he did, he would have to like literally spend like his entire like every ounce of like free time he could have had, he would have to spend in murder, right? In murder and just the proper procedures and cautions of committing murder. And if that was the case, I'm pretty sure the FBI would be able to be like, okay, we found something on this guy. I understand that Hannibal is like a super villain, you know, he has superpowers. For example, his sense of smell. That, you know, okay, the forced suggestion, maybe that's not true. Maybe the forced suggestion, I don't know. Maybe that's not real, okay? Maybe Hannibal's ability to understand and read people and fucking, I don't know, whatever. Maybe his ability to see the future. Sure, you can maybe say that all of that makes sense. But his sense of smell? The fact that he walked past Will and he was like, that smells like Freddie Lounge's hair. It's like, what? Listen, okay. I have a very strong sense of smell. I do. Like, legitimately, it's a problem. It's really a problem. Like, I cannot, like, deal with any, like, strong sense of smells, of tastes, because it really just puts me out. And it can even cause, like, a headache, because they're very strong for me. And I call fucking bullshit on the fact that Hannibal is able to walk past someone and be like, that smells like that bitch's hair. She's not dead. It's like, what? It's not even like he was like right next to him and he just was like, okay, let me smell you. No, he walked past him. How? That makes no sense. And that is, out of all things in the show, that is the one thing that, like, so I've had people in the comments tell me, okay, maybe this thing that you're complaining about, maybe it makes sense if you think about maybe this would have happened. And they give me some kind of plausible explanation about why that is. And I'm like, okay, you know, sure, whatever, sure. No one has even come close to like defending the sense of smell yet. Nobody has told me anything about the sense of smell yet. I'm pretty sure I've asked, how did he smell cancer? Did he do that, or did he just see something else about the cancer and that's what he intuited? But the way he said it, it was like he smelled the cancer. And in here, he smelled like a hair. It wasn't even the perfume. It was the hair. Why? Like, and it's not the first time that happens either. He does, like, okay, the fucking smelling the gun usage, I think that would make sense, but I never smelled the gun. But I'm pretty sure you would be able to smell the Spanish to English. Gunpowder. Well, sure. Maybe you would be able to smell the gunpowder. I don't know anything about guns, so maybe you could smell that. Also, in that situation, he did take a sniff of her, like, hand, right? But even then, like, I don't believe this motherfucker could have this sense of smell. I don't believe it. He's legitimately like a fucking comic book character. Like, that's like the shittiest superpower, but it is a superpower. Like, fuck it. Will has moody blues. He's able to replay the past and see it perfectly. Hannibal has super smelling. Okay? To be fair, if the main character does have a superpower, it makes sense for the main antagonist to also have a superpower. So sure, it's the shittiest superpower. Somehow, it saved his fucking ass. Because he believed Will, and then he was like, that bitch betrayed me. And I want to talk about that. It's the idea that the confrontation between Will and Hannibal, it was really good. Because Hannibal... Okay, so here's the thing. It's that Hannibal never, like, emotes, you know? Unless he's being a smug bitch. Hannibal doesn't really emote. Unless he's like, you know? There's like a cheeky smile every now and then. He doesn't laugh, but it's a cheeky smile. And you can tell he's laughing inside. And he makes like cannibal puns sometimes. Or he says some things with double meaning that only we, the audience, get. And you can tell that motherfucker's laughing. But like, you'll never see him emote. In this scene, I saw him emote. And it was this idea of like Hannibal really, really believed Will. And he really wanted to be with Will. It felt very gay. I'm gonna be honest with you. That felt really gay. It was pretty good. But the idea that Hannibal really believed Will. And he really wanted to be with Will. And trusted Will. And then Will was playing Hannibal. So Hannibal, kind of understandably, feels betrayed. He feels like, I was just a one-time thing for you, Will. You fucking slut. Going out with fucking Jack Crawford. You fucking piece of shit. I trusted you. Anyway, so yes, that's the way it went, and you know, it's the idea that Hannibal like cares, right? It's the idea that Hannibal cares, and that's the part that makes this like interesting. It's the idea that like, you know, like Berserk. Have any of y'all read Berserk or watched Berserk? You know how Berserk would have just ended like so much sooner, or ended at all, if Guts had just dicked down Griffith, you know? If Guts had just fucked Griffith, Berserk would have just been over, like, immediately, within like 5 years. It would have been such a like easy to tell story. Nothing would have happened. They would just have fucked, and then Griffith would have been happy. And then end. That's what I feel Hannibal is, you know? Like, if Will had just dicked down Hannibal, the show would just kind of be resolved. It would just be over. Like, it would just be fine, you know? But like, the fact that Will is like, okay, no, I actually don't want to kill people. I actually think it's fucked up to be a serial killer and eat people, and I want you to get caught so you stop doing that, motherfucker, and also to get justice. And the fact that Hannibal was like, how could you? I trusted you. I opened my heart to you. like, okay, that's the idea. So like, I understand what Hannah was saying, okay, and I get it, right? I get it, and it's not like judging Will for it, but you can tell that he's feeling hurt over it. You know, he's feeling hurt over the fact that Will wasn't accepting Hannibal's, because this is like is it the only time? Maybe not the only time, but it could have been the only time that Hannibal ever like opened up to anyone. You know, like you can see the real me. And Will was just like, nah, that's fucked up. And Hannibal was like, how fucking dare you? I put my heart bare open for you. I welcome you into my life. You eat my people. I share my fucking recipes with you. And it turns out that you were just a fucking piece of shit. You didn't want me. I actually think it makes the show more interesting for Will to just be like, that's fucked. Let's not do that. Instead of him actually becoming corrupted. I feel like becoming corrupted is kind of a cliche. Just keep the confrontation going. And also, while there is a confrontation, make it sexually, like make a sexual tension just happen in between the two characters. That makes it fun. But like, yes, it was mostly one-sided from Hannibal's perspective, you know? The serial killer fell in love. Sure. But Will is just like, nah, man. But like, here's the thing, is that it still feels like Will. So okay, so what they said while the conversation happened after he like gutted him, because he did gut him, is the fact that it seemed like Will was trying to convert Hannibal, you know, to like change Hannibal's way of thinking and seeing the world. And Will is like, I already did succeed in doing that, kind of. So it was this idea of like, Hannibal wanted to corrupt Will, but Will ended up corrupting Hannibal for the better. And it's just like, okay, that's interesting. Is that what happened? I suppose if you look at it in the direction of like, Hannibal fell in love with me, huh? So now I have power over his feelings, huh? So now I'm one step ahead, and maybe through the power of love, he can stop being a piece of shit. Maybe that's what he was thinking. By the way, I'm very tired. So this like discussion review thing is not gonna be my best work, but yeah, just bear with me on that. Yeah, I love that confrontation for that. I think it was fantastic for these two characters. But let's talk about the fact that Will could be dead. Alana could be dead. Jack could be dead. In fact, I think he is. Abigail could be. I don't know if Abigail really matters about discussing whether or not she's alive or dead, because she's been there for like a full season and then she's alive and then she died again. So like, does it even matter? I suppose it could matter if she's alive, okay? Like if she actually is alive, which she could be. I mean, here's the thing, is that I don't think Hannibal would save Abigail. So I think that he would have like gone for like a kill wound. Just like, okay, she's gonna die for sure. But maybe he didn't keep in mind the paramedics coming in. So maybe because of that, people can be saved. But the thing is that I was thinking that maybe Abigail could be alive because we need to see how she survived, what actually happened at the end of season 1, why was she here at Hannibal's house. Like, I can assume a couple things, but we're gonna need the show to tell us exactly. And the ways the show can tell us, the easiest one would be for Abigail to be alive and for her to tell us. So that would be the easiest way to have that. So I think Abigail could be alive because of that. Alternatively, we're just gonna try to get Hannibal. And if we try to get Hannibal, like, we're gonna encounter him. I'm assuming we're gonna encounter him at like, okay, this is a good question. How is season 3 gonna be like? Because if season 3, like, Hannibal's, he ran away. Like, he left. See y'all, motherfuckers. So, like, because he left, because he's out, I'm just like, what is season 3 gonna be like? Because if season 1 left me confused, season 2 is leaving me way more confused. Because that means that maybe like, okay, they kind of set it up with the therapist lady. I forgot her name. Sorry, I never like. I think her last name is like Duchateau, something like that. I don't know, but her. They kind of set it up for the next season so that you may have like the main cast, whoever's left of the main cast, interact with each other in one side of the story, and then you're gonna see Hannibal and her, the blonde psychiatrist, interact with Hannibal in the other side of the story. Because if you don't have that, Hannibal cannot interact with the main cast anymore. Because if he does, he's caught and he's or dead or whatever. They're just gonna shoot him on sight. But you cannot have a season without Hannibal. Because the name of the show is Hannibal. So you need him in order to tell a story. Unless the entirety of like season 3 is from Hannibal's perspective, which would be bold. It would be a bold move, but the name of the show is Hannibal. It could be the case, and that ties back into what I was just thinking about, which is Will dead? Did they kill off the main character? I mean, they could have, but also not really. Like, okay, so they tried to make me think that Will was gonna convert to the dark side and start eating people out of nowhere. Sure, whatever. But then they were like, psych! Bitch, you thought. And I'm like, no, you just lied to me. Like, if you lie to me, yes, I'll believe it. But I wouldn't believe it otherwise. In fact, I had a hard time believing it. So if the show keeps lying to me, I mean, it already did it. So at this point, I'm like, okay, I don't believe anything the show does or says anymore. Whatever the show tries to say to me, I'm just going to be stubborn and stick to whatever my belief is. Because we already established that the show just lies to you. So I don't care anymore. So Will could be dead or he could be alive. I'm going to assume he's maybe alive. Because if he was dead, it would be difficult to tell a story unless Hannibal becomes the main character. Or Alana becomes the main character. Because I'm like one of... Okay, so this is the likelihood of people dead. Of the 4 that we see. I think Jack Crawford is the most likely to die. I think he's dead already, actually. I think he's dead. Abigail next. I think she's most likely to die after Jack. Then... Fuck. I don't know who's more likely to die. Will or Alana, actually. But I think those two are the least likely to die. But, like, I can see the show switching main characters. I can see the show just killing Will, and then Alana's alive. Out of all of them, Alana got, like... I don't know. I don't know what the injuries would be for falling from, like, a roof like that. But Will's injury was pretty bad. He got gutted. I can see the show switching main characters. I can see it. I'm gonna say both of them are equally as likely to die. Alana and Will. But I can actually see... I'm gonna say both of them are gonna live. Maybe Abigail and Jack won't. But I'm gonna say Will and Alana maybe are alive. And... Oh, because that's the thing. It's that we need more than one character alive in order for them to interact with each other. Because otherwise, what the fuck do we have on the, like, the main cast side of things, you know? You have, like, one survivor... Freddie Lowndes, the FBI lady, the 2 Torchwood guys. That's it? No, we need characters in order for interactions to happen. You cannot tell a story without interactions. So we're gonna need a couple characters to be alive in order for that to happen. So I'm gonna say Will and Alana are probably gonna live. Abigail has a little bit of a chance of living because we need to learn what the fuck happened with her. And the easiest way to explain that would be for her to be alive and tell us. Otherwise, Hannibal is just going to tell us later. Or maybe he won't. Maybe the show will just don't tell me anything because it wouldn't be weird for the show to do that. And then Jack Crawford. I think the most likely chance of someone dead is Jack Crawford. I think he's most likely to die here. I was very silent for like a good chunk of the episode. I felt like the first half of the episode was just a bunch of like like setting up the mood and foreshadowing to the encounter, and then the final like 15 minutes was just encounter. When did fucking Hannibal like take the bullets off Alana's gun? When did he do that? Like, actually, when did he do that? Because the moment that Alana started shooting with guns, then she was already kind of suspecting Hannibal. Maybe not right away, but like a little bit after that. But then we had like another like 1 or 2 full episodes of like shit happening, and Alana didn't interact with Hannibal at all because she was like, oh, maybe he might be a killer. Like, when did he change that? When did he empty the bullets off of Alana's gun? When did that fucking happen? Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe that's just something I didn't pay enough attention to, and I just don't remember. But like, when fucking how? Anyway, well, let's talk about Abigail being alive, okay? Let's talk about Abigail being alive. I fucking call that shit, by the way. Like, right away, I was like, Abigail's not dead. And the only reason why I said that when it fucking happened, when the ear thing happened, is because I'm like, we don't see a body. We don't see a body. Rule number one of watching a fucking crime show. If you don't see the body, the person is most likely alive. Okay? And I already did that with Freddie Lounge. When we saw the fucking burned body, I was like, that's not her. Otherwise, why would it be burned? And she wasn't dead. And I felt happy about that. But it kept going on Abigail. And when Hannibal mentioned the fucking teacups, like 2 episodes ago, Hannibal was looking at fucking teacups, and he was like, it would be awesome if the teacup came undone. And you see like a teacup from reshaping back together. I'm like, Abigail's alive. Abigail is alive. The teacup is supposed to tell me that. And then he brought the teacups back here. He was like, yeah, teacups, man. And she's alive. And I'm like, fucking knew it. Fuck the show. Alright. But she came back in and she pushed the line out the window. Why was she helping Hannibal? I don't know. I suppose Hannibal's kind of the only person she has. I don't know. She has Stockholm Syndrome or Hannibal threatens her. I don't know, man. I don't care. We'll see later when she maybe or someone explains what's going on with Abigail. I'm just glad that she's alive because I fucking called it. She could be dead though. I don't know if Will is alive or dead. I don't know if Alana is alive or dead. I don't know if Jack is alive or dead. I don't know if Abigail's alive or dead. And Hannibal is chilling. He's chilling and he's in France now. This episode was just a bunch of crazy shit. Like, what the fuck even? So Hannibal just straight up kidnapped the psychiatrist lady. I mean, I'm gonna assume he kidnapped her. Like, because after she came back with like Jack Crawford in order to like get information for them to catch Hannibal, and I'm assuming that then she was easy to find and like Hannibal just found her, and then fuck it, he just fucking went to her and he was like, come with me or I'm gonna fucking kill you. And then she was like, well, I guess I don't have a choice then. So then she just goes with them. And this might be Hannibal's like, okay, you know when someone goes through like a breakup or something, and then they just out of spite or out of a need for like distraction, they go and find someone else that they maybe relate to a little bit because they need someone else to like maybe help with the pain of the first person, but the second person doesn't really matter to them. They're just here to help. It's kind of like that. Like, I don't know if I'm explaining myself properly, but I'm just gonna put it in simple terms. Will broke up with Hannibal, and Hannibal was like, that bitch cheated on me. And then he goes to his ex, the psychiatrist lady, and he's like, can you believe what fucking Will Graham did? And she's like, yeah, I guess. I'm here at gunpoint, but yeah, sure. Yeah, I'll help you out with your fucking couple issues, Hannibal. Sure, I don't have a choice. I'm gonna die either way, so that's the way I see it. Maybe a little bit. I have no idea what season 3 is like, but sure. We finally got to see the fucking encounter between Jack and Hannibal. From all the way from the first episode, teasing my ass with it. Finally got to see it. But yeah, sure. I don't know if there's anything else I want to talk about here. I don't know if there's anything else to talk about. Because once again, this show is just not gonna give me any like concrete anything. It's just gonna give me a cliffhanger and say, fuck you. Come back next season. So guess what? I'm doing exactly that. Fuck this video. I'm out of here. Thank you so much for watching it. And if you would like to watch the next 2 episodes for Hannibal, so the first 2 episodes for season 3, you can already do so over at the Patreon. Check out the link in the description for that, social media, Twitch stream, everything else. And I'll see you guys next time. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.